Hello everybody, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ed Butterworth. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer here at Aforza, and today I want to talk to you about how you can exponentially boost your commercial capacity with Ava Claims Processing. So here she is, here's Ava, the star of the show. This is Aforza's vertical AI. And today we're going to be talking about Ava, about agentic technology, and how with Ava, as part of a digital workforce, you can really change the game for you and your organizations on how you drive new levels of productivity and efficiency. And luckily, it's not just about me talking to you about Ava. I'm joined here today by Callum Fitzpatrick. And after a short introduction and an outline of some of the key issues we're seeing in the market and roadblocks, Callum is going to be taking you through a demonstration showing Ava's agentic capabilities in processing lives here on this webinar. I'm then going to come back and talk to you about how you can get started, because we don't just want to talk about the theory. This is an instant on capability and available now. And we really want to open that opportunity to all of you to take advantage of this. So first of all, just a short introduction of Aforza. Aforza is an organization that is utterly dedicated to the consumer products industry. And we really focus on helping organizations connect up their planning right through to their execution. When you think about everything that happens from the point of production, the manufacturer side, right the way through down to the point of sale at the retailer. And we're trusted by organizations in over 50 markets today. Companies like Edrington, L'Oreal, Flora, and Suntory, all organizations working with Aforza at scale. And we're doing this on a suite of cloud and mobile applications built on the Salesforce and Google Cloud platforms. And as you can see, the lovely array of different personas and people, these are the people we really focus on supporting with their needs in how they use applications, whether it's key account managers, whether it's category planners or commercial specialists, people working through the B2B channels, merchandisers or field reps in the sales. All these are capabilities that Aforza provides today. And today's webinar is all about this capability we're showing to you around claims and deductions. So let's just talk a little bit about some of the challenges that are going on in the market. And really it comes down to these three simple things around hidden costs, time lost, 80% of deductions remaining still open after 90 days. It's not hard to find where some opportunities for improvements can be found. There's a huge amount of wastage, and this is really a case of death by 1,000 cuts, because research shows that at $97 for a deduction, minor deductions are major waste. And if we look at the way claims are handled today, it's really not difficult to see some of those places where the inefficiencies are really working against us. They're everywhere, whether it's high handling costs or complex dispute backlogs. A lot of it is it's just hugely manual and super frustrating for people where they can't actually get the insights and see really what's going on. So organizations we see today, they could be spending between $10 to $40 million on this kind of capability. And that really is where there's such a huge opportunity to help reduce and drive efficiency and attack that number. So how do we go about this? Well, at Aforza, our mission is to build world-class applications connecting planning through to execution. And now today, we can extend that, because what gets planned needs to get processed. And with claims, we're going even further than just that planning and execution piece. And today, and you can see where the claims processing capabilities are there right the way through our application layer. And these are the capabilities we're going to be showing you shortly in our demonstration. And today is really all about productivity. To get truly productive in 2025, to create that perfect modern environment, humans and agents need to work together. And with the Aforza platform, what you've got that perfect digital office to make that work. You've got planning and execution and now claims all in one platform. And this is supported by full-blown multimodal capabilities, which we'll see in the demonstration, whether it's voice, video, photos, and more. Whatever the type of way claims are being brought in, Aforza supports it. And as being built on the shoulders of these great cloud computing giants, that enterprise scale and trust is there as part of the core proposition. And the key thing about this slide is what's really there in the middle. Aforza comes with pre-built agents. That's what Ava is really about. You don't have to start configuring and building your own agents for this. This is what Ava does, and she's specifically built and designed. And think of it as hiring someone who's a world-class specialist to support you in your operation. And what's really important is you don't need to be using Aforza for planning or execution or anything else to use Ava for claims. What we're here to talk about today is instant on and available now. So talking a little bit more about those business challenges, there's so many business challenges. I'm sure you all know them better than I do. And really to summarize what you're being asked to do all the time is to do more with less. But, so often people say, well, I need better insights and here's another dashboard. Let me tell you, you don't need another dashboard. You don't need more insights. What you need is a digital workforce that completely changes the dynamics throughout your company, and you can boost your commercial capacity with this at scale. So let's talk about improvements and where this really goes and the kind of values that you might be seeing when you start introducing these capabilities. So everyone's talking about AI today. You can't go anywhere without hearing about it. But something I'd like to share with you is that we have customers today using our capabilities, using Ava, and they are seeing with real proof 50% productivity improvements. So that's doing double what they were able to do before with the same amount of people. That's really doing more with less. Now you can take these principles of doing something that supports individuals, whether it's in the field or with their planning, but you can now do it and apply those principles at scale, whether it's claims, deductions, disputes, and validation of invoices. This is all about, and what we're going to show you today, all about Ava helping doing the heavy lifting across your organization. And the opportunity to save money here is significant. It's a huge area where there's huge amounts of volume, and the ability to speed things up and drive higher benefits in terms of accuracy, that is massive. So let's talk a little bit about Ava and introducing Ava and some of the capabilities she has, and this concept of a claim skill. So as you see here, typically claims come in, they get into some sort of workflow, but it's a jumbled mess. And that means that you have all these challenges you see here at the bottom of the slide that's going on. And what Ava's really here to do is open the door to really introduce an agentic capability to take input of the input of claims on a multimodal basis. And then she has this ability then to triage and then to follow particular workflows that depend on the claim type and validation logic, whatever you need to prescribe for different types of claims. And using the different agents that she's got as part of the agentic capability, she's then able to then process them all in a very smooth way. And you're going to see this very shortly in the demonstration. So with this, what does this mean? What's the real story behind this? Well, it's very simple. The opportunity here about driving out cost is huge. There's a huge amount of automation. It's going to lower the claims processing costs. And from a time point of view, it's eliminating a lot of those delays. She's got access to all the information she needs, and it allows you to deliver faster claims cycle times as well. So that's going to be completely reduced, as you'll see from Callum in the demonstration. And actually, there's a financial benefit here. We'll come into those in a bit more detail shortly, but this is about driving real-time insights and visibility across the claims cycles that you're trying to deliver. And we've talked about the agentic side of things. This is where touchless validation, where you don't need to actually physically touch a claim. All the different checks are done in an agentic manner, which gives you that touchless validation. So from a financials point of view, that's all great, but what are the numbers? Let's make it a little bit more real. So if we think about manual processing today, you've got an operational cost in the realms of, let's just say, for an example, $1.6 million. That's a regular things that companies and organizations have to work with on a yearly basis. It takes approximately about 90 minutes on average per claim. Let's take that as a factor because that's really what the research and our experience shows. And the accuracy in terms of what you can do straight away versus having to go off and ask a key account manager about an email or ping pong about certain other information that you don't have access to, it leaves you in a situation where you can't complete those claims and your accuracy levels are really bouncing around the sort of 50 to 70%. It's not really the strongest place to be. Now, introducing Ava from a heavy lifting capability, you can really see the dramatic improvement opportunity that's here, both from an operational cost point of view, but at the same time, that processing time, it's going to be minutes, and you'll see this live in the demonstration. And from an accuracy point of view, it's way up in the 90s in a new way that you can keep control where you want Ava to do the work or where you actually want to have a human or one of your team in the claims processing team really understand what's going on and make the final decision based on Ava's recommendations. So, with that, I think it's a great point to pause and let you see actually Ava working in real life. And I'm going to hand over to Callum, who will be taking you through the demonstration.
Thank you, Ed. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're dialing in from. Thank you again very much for joining us today. Now, onto the demonstration side of things. So let's introduce the 3 people that you're going to be meeting today in the demonstration. Now, the first is Michelle. So she is going to be on the retailer side of things. She's the one actually submitting a claim. And then we're going to see Ava, who actually processes that claim in a very, very short amount of time. And to be honest, you're going to be seeing Ava working behind the scenes, but I'm going to introduce you to what Ava has been doing in this demonstration. And finally, we're going to see James. He is a kind of key account manager for the manufacturer in this case. So he's going to be looking at how Ava has analyzed that claim and the conclusion that she's come to, as well as all the evidence that Michelle has submitted when she created her claim to get those funds to her. So we're going to start off as Michelle. She's going to be logging into a customer portal where she can see her account details, any promotions that are running. She can place new orders, but today she's going to be submitting a new claim to get invoice deductions in line with a promotion that's just been running in her store. So she uploads that information, and then we're going to see how Ava analyzes that claim against the account details, the agreements with that account, any contracts that there might be active, any outstanding invoices or payments, credit issues that need to be paid. Ava cross-references all of the items within the claim, firstly against the promotion to ensure that the right products are being claimed against, but also against the supporting volume data that Michelle has uploaded. Ava then looks at all of that evidence, looks at the terms and conditions about how claims should be approved or rejected, and then she comes to a conclusion and will actually, in this case, spoiler alert, reject that claim and update the justification details for James to review, but also for Michelle to review if she needs to see. So then I'm going to log in as James to show you how he can manage all of his claims at once, how Ava is really taking away all of the manual processing, that heavy lifting side of things, off James's plate, so he can do the more important things like selling and speaking to his customers and coming up with fantastic agreements and plans to help drive revenue in both parties. We're going to log in as James to actually see all of those evidence pieces that Ava has just analyzed in seconds, I think in under a minute. So buckle in, I hope you're as excited as I am, and let's jump straight into the demonstration. So I'm logged into the Chalk Springs customer portal as Michelle, a retailer who has a very close relationship with Chalk Springs, the manufacturer, and sells a lot of products and runs joint promotions within her store. Now, she can see that there's some new promotions to unlock, and she can also see that she can upload shelf photos to unlock special offers. And on this homepage, she can see her account details. She can very easily create new orders for products or merchandise and submit new claims or deductions when she's paying her invoices. And very importantly, she can very easily get support with Chalk Springs. Coming further down, she can see a self-service dashboard with key information being shown, Any kind of analytics can be shown to Michelle here to help her understand where she's investing in her specific product performance and how she's benefiting together with Chalk Springs through these claims and promotions. Now, in this case, we want to submit a brand new claim. So Michelle moves into the claims and deductions area where she can see all of her claims and their statuses that are currently outstanding, as well as those that have been rejected or paid. And she can really easily click into these individual claims to understand where they are in their approval processes at Chalk Springs. She loves having the transparency and visibility to help her forecast throughout the year. Now, it's really easy for Michelle to create a brand new claim right here. She sets the claim date for today, the 5th of June, and the total amount today is $1,000 that she's earned. And this all relates to the new product launch promotion for 2025 that she's been running in her store. So that claim is instantly created. Coming further down, she can see where she can add claim line items for the specific merchandise or promotions or products that she might be claiming against. And of course, she can see a full approval history if she needs to. Now, she's going to be claiming for a specific product. In this case, it's the brand new Hint of Lime that's part of the special promotion that she's just been running. She sold 243 of them during the promotional period, and she's been promised $1 for each one she sells. So she saves that, and that's her first line item created. Now the second one is for naturally sparkling drinks, and she's done 757 of them. So she very easily puts those in and selects the correct product. She loves how easy it is to submit these claims. Now, she also wants to add specific evidence to back up her claims. So she's got her volume data for May, which she uploads really easily, as well as the latest shelf photos from her store, showing our drinks on the shelves. Happy that she's got the correct details filled out and the right evidence uploaded with them, she then easily submits this for approval. Now, I'm logged in as James, who works for Chalk Springs. And as James, I can see in this claims management module all of the claims that are currently being processed by Ava, which I can also review. I can easily filter by promotion or by specific account. I can see my claims policies, which Ava will know, as well as any evidence files that are submitted alongside claims. I can see all of the right information right here in this cockpit. Now, importantly, I can manage and view all of my claims. Here's that most recent one that's just come through from Michelle. Now, if we open it up, we can see that as James, there's a lot more information to be displayed around the claims. We can see that Michelle created it. We can see it's for a specific promotion, and we can see those individual claim line items against this specific claim. In the Studio tab, here I can see the evidence that's been uploaded alongside this claim, the latest shelf photo, as well as volume data from the month of May. Now, Ava is analyzing this claim right now. So within the Ava Activities tab, if I refresh this really quickly, we can start seeing exactly what Ava is looking at as she's processing this claim. So if we click into here, showing you a bit behind the scenes now, we can see that Ava is actually reading the Fresh Start Shop policy agreement that exists against this particular customer. So we can see Michelle has actually signed this on December the 28th, 2024. There's some specific agreements in here, like our products not being presented next to other competitor products. And we can see how Ava has extracted the actual dates that this agreement is active. Now, I'm going to show you some more evidence that Ava is collecting. And then once we see how Ava comes to the conclusion of if this claim should be approved or rejected, I'll show you each of those evidence pieces. So if I come back into the Ava activities and refresh this, we can see she's done a lot in the few seconds that I've been talking. So let's jump into each of these, right? She's analyzing the photo. She can see all of the products that are on the shelves there. She's actually reading the volume data that's been uploaded as part of that claim. She can see for each of the products, such as the hint of lime, that 243 were sold from a volume perspective, and she can see that naturally sparkling, which was the other product that's been claimed against, there were 384 sold. And we can see the reason for Ava actually processing these individual bits of information. She's looking at the evidence here. So she now gets all of the information for the claim, and she updates the claim status. And we can actually see, since coming back here, that this claim has been rejected automatically in just a few moments. So let's click into this final reasoning. And we'll scroll down a little bit to see the reasoning behind this rejection. So the claim was submitted within the valid period of the associated promotion. So that's good. That's the first step of what Ava has analysed. She's also looked at the specific account, Fresh Start Shop Southwest. It's active, however, it has an outstanding invoice balance of $152, which does indicate a minor credit issue. Digging further, she looked at all of the invoices, and there are several with the right IDs, which I can easily jump into, that remain unpaid or pending. Now, the contract and the promotion do not explicitly override the requirement for invoices to be paid, but this does violate an essential eligibility criterion. Now, from the claim line items, remember we submitted naturally sparkling and hint of lime, they are included in the promotion as part of the claim. And their quantities are roughly matching the evidence provided for hint of lime. There's 243 units in the claim and the PDF evidence. However, for naturally sparkling, the claim is for 757 units, whilst as we saw from the evidence being gathered, only 384 are evidenced, which indicates a big discrepancy. And finally, there's no shelf agreement violations, in accordance with the unique agreements we have with this particular store. However, the claim has been rejected based on these findings of 1, outstanding invoices, and 2, a volume discrepancy for the naturally sparkling drink. What we can also see is Ava's confidence levels. So how confident Ava was in completing the complex activity. She's looked at multiple different evidence sources. She's pulled all of the data together, and in as little as 24 seconds, she has analysed this claim and come to the conclusion that it should be rejected. Now, as I'm logged in as James, I can see all of this information. I can still come in and manually edit this claim and interact with Michelle, because perhaps there's some things or agreements that aren't recorded in the system anywhere, but that I know will constitute this claim actually being accepted. What's important is that Ava has done all of the heavy lifting for me. She's gone into the specific account, the Fresh Start Shop Southwest, which when I click in here, I can see all of the information, all of the products that are actually there in this store right now. And in the Studio tab, I can see our actual Fresh Start Shop agreement, which I can see has been signed by which I can see here has been signed by Michelle Jones, and actually shows all of the important information about how we present our products in this store. We also saw how Ava was looking at a specific promotion, the new product launch for 2025, targeting VIP customers, which Michelle was one of. Here we can see those products that are actually involved in that promotion. There's the hint of lime, a new hint of strawberry drink, and the naturally sparkling. And of course, behind this promotion sits the funds and the budgets, where those claims and deductions will be deducted from. So Ava understands all of this. The important thing is, as a user, I can see how she has come to that conclusion that this claim should be rejected, which gives me full visibility into exactly how Ava is operating. Now, we've seen one claim being rejected here. So Ava has made my life a whole lot easier. I haven't needed to go trawling through volume data, analyzing pictures that have been submitted by my retailer or submitted through a distributor that I have to review. I haven't had to read specific contracts for the customer in question. Ava has given me back time in my day. So, what have we just seen? We've seen how Michelle can really easily upload a brand new promotional claim in a portal with photo proof of execution, volume data, and easily link it to the right products and promotions. And then we've seen how Ava, in under 30 seconds, has firstly assessed the customer agreements and contracts, checks there's no outstanding credit issues or invoice issues. She's then validated that claim as legitimate and falls within the agreed promotional period. She's cross-referenced those items within the claim with the products that are in the promotions, as well as the volumes. She's looked at the evidence submitted or captured during that period. She's then approved or rejected the claim. In this case, she's rejected the claim, and she's actually written out the justification behind that. We've seen how James could actually see the results of all of this. We walked through every piece of evidence that Ava has analysed and showed how she came to that conclusion in 24 seconds, which I think is a lot faster than myself or anyone else on here could have done. And that's why we can talk about the incredible time saving with Ava. Now, traditionally, to do everything you've just seen, you'd be receiving that claim via email or a portal, but manually sorting it, then manually cross-checking against the promotions, reading through the agreements that are often in multiple different disconnected systems, investigating execution evidence from completely siloed data, email threads, random folders, perhaps even WhatsApp groups or Teams channels, and then to log the approval, the rejection, or even the dispute with the retailer, which would take even longer, or the distributor. To do that manually via email can take anywhere from 45 minutes if you are very efficient and you are best in class in claims processing, anywhere up to 90 days or more. Now with Ava, on Aforza's end-to-end connected platform, she's done all of that in seconds, literally in under a minute. And depending on the complexity of the claim or the deduction, it could take anywhere from as little as 10 seconds to 4 or 5 minutes. But the beautiful thing is that Ava is processing those claims. So you don't just get a deduction down to 10, 15 seconds to 5 minutes. You don't have to process them whatsoever. Ava is analyzing all of them for you. So you get all of your time back to spend where it matters. More time with the customer, or if you're processing claims late at night or in your own time, more time to yourself, more time with your family, with your friends. And that is why we can say that Ava is the perfect employee, because your claims could be coming in at any time of day and Ava will be analyzing them every second, or every millisecond, I should say. And it's why we can talk about the incredible business value. You saw it for one person, James. You imagine this at scale across all of your markets, because Ava is multimodal, multilingual, and she never stops. Thank you for following on so far. I'm going to hand back over to Ed now, who's going to take us through a few more key points before we jump into some Q&A. And I can see there's a lot of questions that have already come in. So thank you very much. And Ed, over to you. Are you there?
Hi, Callum. Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much for that wonderful demo. That was truly amazing. When I watched that, I just feel like the future really is here. It's truly exciting at the potential for just improving that efficiency and productivity dramatically across your organization. So just before we get to the Q&A, I've got a few more points to share, and I'd also like to highlight the free trial that we're offering of how you can see Ava really working for your claims and how you can put it to work yourself. So let me share a few wider points here about what Ava's been getting up to, and then I'll talk about that free trial where you can see it yourself. So firstly, she's doing an amazing job for AG Bar, a drinks company here in the UK, in helping them boost their sales team's productivity whenever they go out to retailers. And really, what's the outcome of this? They've seen 50% improvement in terms of the time reduced that they need to do the work they do, and that frees them up to do the jobs really that they want to do, removing all that admin and getting into actually the real job of spending time with customers, quality conversations. And this is a really great example where Ava is working with the data that they have about the stores and leveraging her multimodal capability. So she's working with all that data, with photos that are taken on the store visit with our partners, Neurolabs. And within 2 seconds, she's able to give the exact insights tailor-made for that particular retailer, for that particular day, about what the 3 most impactful actions will be for the sales rep and how he can best advise the retailer. So for AG Bar, they've seen their team as a result act with significantly more confidence. For new people starting, Ava's there to guide and help them with all the experience she's got, with all the understanding of their data that she has. And the result is they can show impact instantly in the store. It's not about coming back tomorrow or sending something later. Instantly, these tailor-made insights really help drive that productivity and change the game in changing the dynamics of how they're able to talk to their customers. That wasted time's gone. They're now able to advise the retailer on how they can drive their growth with accuracy and a unique insight every time they go there, all within 2 seconds. And furthermore, Ava's a great friend to all of our partners. And if you've joined as today's webinar as one of our partners, you will shortly be receiving an invite to a partner-specific webinar where we're going to talk a little bit more just dedicated to you and your organization about how we can drive growth together, how you can look and understand more about the enablement programs we put around Ava. So that's a really important thing, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you there. This is a great quote from one of our friends, Elaine at IBM, she's been a real supporter of and seeing how Ava's really able to bring that transformation together with IBM with some of their clients. And we're equally very proud to be able to be recognized in such a way by analysts such as Gartner and the POI, as you see here. They're already in a privileged position where they're continually scanning the market. So awards like the 11 best-in-class distinctions that we've been awarded by POI really means a huge amount, as well as that recognition by Gartner. It's crucial to have these proof points on Ava's abilities. Okay, so getting started. This is the fun part. So just to repeat, and I said it earlier, you don't need to be using Aforza for planning or for execution or for anything else to be able to see Ava working on claims. So Ava Claims Processing is completely standalone. You do not need to be working with Aforza on other parts of that journey, whether it's in trade promotion management or some sort of retail execution. So it's a simple 3-step process to start a trial. And because Ava is instant on, there's no lengthy setup time or training or anything like that you've got to configure. So what we're offering you is that chance to see Ava working for free for 3 months. Now, we all know that claims and really the output of claims is super integral part of your processes and how you actually pay out on these things. So the way this trial works is that we're going to help you get going quickly and just to see how much time Ava can help you save. So what we do is we take some of the historical data of the historical claims that you've received, and then we'll show you how Ava can process those in an agentic way and demonstrate that in real time for you in front of you. So they're not the live claims because they've already been done in the past, and that's part of your general process, but they're historical claims that have been shared with you by your customers, and we're going to let Ava show exactly what you can do with that touchless validation that we've shown in the demonstration. So here she is, ready to go, ready to work. She's eager to show what she can do. So to take that first step and register, you can see the QR code here on your screen. Here's the link. So if you'd like to register there, then we'll get in touch and take you through the detail of how we can set Ava up for you, and so you can really see her at work. Okay, so thank you so much for all of you joining today. I'm now going to look at some of these Q&As. I know that they've been coming in during today's session, so let's just go into the Q&A now, and we'll take a few of these questions.